Hello and good morning and welcome. It's Monday. It's Motivation Monday. And thank you for joining us today. And today, of course, being Motivation Monday, please welcome Mr. Terrell Edwards. How are you, Terrell?
Hello, Sally. How are you?
Fantastic to see
Yeah,
you here today.
yeah. You too, man.
What
We
an
had a
amazing weekend we had. So tell
oh
me
man,
what you've been up to since,
oh
of
we
course, I saw you
oh
Saturday.
we had a we yeah we had a great time on Saturday, didn't we?
We sure did. It
That
was
was that
just
was
phenomenal.
that was fantastic to be a part of Yarley's birthday, and thanks for inviting me out there to be a part of that. He's just an icon, if you will, a legend, and anytime you can rub elbows with a legend, man, it's always just a blessing. So.
Incredible. May you
Yeah.
and I get to 90. Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the hope, right? But I got to tell you though, Sally. I woke up this morning. It was raining outside. We got all these things, all these cares of the world, and I was just like, man, I don't know, like when is it gonna all end, And so, and I know it's like I can't be alone. I had to figure out like who else feels that way sometimes, You ever feel that way, So I'm
Pretty
thinking like,
overwhelming still. It's
huh?
there. It's overwhelming still.
Absolutely. And so when I get there, I say to myself, like, what can I cling to distract myself from all of the things I could be concerned about? Because I could go on and on all day about this, to be perfectly honest with you, and it can just be a downer kind of a day, or I can make a conscious choice to like, let me find something that I love that I can cling to and distract me from the cares of the world. So, what is it that you love? What is it that will pick you up and give your day another fighting chance? I think we all have something that we love. A hug from a family member, a dog walk, a run, or maybe music. This does it for me. So,
Or all of the above.
or all of the above. Whatever you need to do, you can get out of that spiral. You just flip the switch, and then it's like I feel better now. Now I can get up and get going. So
It's
it
true.
happens to all of us.
I mean, yes, it's a gloomy day, but we
Hmm.
needed this. I always sometimes say Mother Nature knows what she needs to do.
Yeah,
And I'm sure when you drove around a little bit over the weekend, you saw people busy with their yard work and fertilizing and whatever. But along with that needs rain.
that we
Uh,
need rain,
yeah,
and
for
that's a good analogy because why do we need rain so the flowers can grow? That's why.
yeah.
So and here we are. The
I,
flowers.
I can't wait for everything to turn green and the flowers to just pop out. Sometimes, I mean, I'm still a little crazy, I guess. I talk to the
Mhm.
trees and I watch, right? I mean, I just go, the growing pains because they have to pop out the buds and pop out the leaves in our short growing season. So, but as you can see, it's already turning green. Some people said, "Oh, my grass is looking greener all the time." See,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, sometimes we just need to clean out this a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's right. We just need to clean it out, and you know what? And
Put
we need to
your, put your,
put a little sunshine in there, and you know what? Next thing you know, it's like, you know what? I can do this another day. I can do it
one more day.
one more day.
And for a lot of us, at least for me, and I know for you, it's 1 hour at a time, and there's so much we can do. When
Hmm.
I look back I mean, yes, it's been a long 7 weeks. This is week 7, I think. I've lost track.
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
long time. But then you look back at how much we've done every day, and you have to keep yourself moving and motivated and to get through it 1 hour at a time. And we are going to get through it. It is really quite overwhelming, though, right now for a lot of people who are alone.
Hmm.
And you're
Hmm.
right. Someone made the comment yesterday to me that they think that, I mean, when it comes to working out and exercise and all this, that's all going to change the future because
Hmm.
they're all like in the morning working out, doing yoga, Pilates. That's great. There's nothing wrong with just even if you can't do that, just to admire the sunrise and stretch. Okay, I'm getting older, so it's kind of hard for me to bounce around.
Hmm.
Listen, I've done it all, right? From Olivia Newton-John, remember that? Maybe you're not old enough, huh? But I
I
like
know.
that you got a strip of yellow. See, I mean, that alone evokes sunshine for me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right?
This is kind of my in home uniform. I kind of go to this, and I don't know why, but I think this yellow kind of inspires me to just
It's
get the wheels turning. So
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. And
So
no, I mean, oh, and congratulations. I think your picture made the journal. Look at that. Nick Lees wrote a really nice article.
wow, that's wow. Well, that's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. If you haven't clicked the link yet, I sent it to you by email. Check your junk mail.
I saw a picture of a good looking older guy, a really beautiful girl with red on, and then this other little goofy looking black guy. So I didn't know.
Uh,
I was, so,
and we came back in that afternoon. All that video, that raw footage. Well,
uh,
I learned something new, how to download it from my phone, and then attempting to play it live. And I
okay,
had a bit of challenge, but I got it playing eventually. So we heard you singing,
good,
yeah,
good, good,
his
good, good.
favorite
Well,
song. So that was pretty cool.
oh, you
And
know what?
and
Yeah.
then I posted a short one on Facebook right after that article of Nick's, so you can go back and take a look at that for sure.
Okay. All right.
So,
Good. Good.
so what else you're working on? I know I touched last week and a few weeks ago. I think you're this live telethon idea. Where are we going with this? We need to have a special meeting. So I would love to see an old-fashioned telethon.
Yeah. And
It was
I
fantastic. I
and I
really
think
want to see their name scrolling on the bottom,
I
like
think yeah.
as follows. See, like I'm gonna just scroll your name on the bottom here for a second. Look, watch this. See,
Yeah. Yeah. And I
who
need
does not want to see their name scrolling on the bottom,
yep.
right?
Yep. Subscribe on YouTube. That's what I like.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
relevant.
for sure. Isn't that fantastic?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. So you gonna share anything cool you're working on right now?
You know what? It's we're just about ready to launch an incredible campaign. I really can't let the cat out of the
All
bag
right, all right.
on that. We're so close, and maybe by the end of the week we can do it. But on Thursday, of course, we have TE Live at that will air on Facebook at 8 o'clock. We got some incredible guests again. There was a gentleman that is the top cop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Really?
He's going to be joining us. He was appointed by the governor, so he's the real deal. We're going to get a perspective from a seniors home CEO. Miss Isabella Roth is going to join us.
Oh, is she good
And
for her?
yeah, and we got a couple others. A fire chief that is, of course, responsible for. He's got a 30-year career in the fire department. He's the chief down in the U.S. And we're just going to talk a little bit and find out how they got to where they are and what kind of challenges and what type of triumphs they come through. And then we're going to hit them at the end and see how well they know their music trivia with this game time with our.
I love it. Well, I can't wait for my invitation.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what?
I will log on, and I think last Thursday I was answering the questions pretty fast. I'm going, wait a minute, this is okay.
You were. I heard.
Also as a watcher, like
And you got the one like how old is
Elton John?
How old is Elton John? That was the one. Yeah.
And I told you how I knew because
how'd you get that?
And his birthday's in the same month as Barry's, so I had double checked, and yeah. I didn't think he was past 70, but you're right.
Oh yeah.
That was good. I got the first one right off the bat.
Right off the bat, you did.
Really, Terrell, I like it. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun,
Every time I watch it, go, oh, it's over. Did you see how exciting it is? It needs to be longer. More questions, but I get it.
Well, the beauty of it is you can always go to YouTube, and we've got a playlist where all of our talk show is being listed. Of course, we got a playlist for all of the music too, and all of the shows that we've done. So
fantastic.
There's lots there. Please go to that YouTube channel, and we're gonna it'll keep you entertained, hopefully.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to hearing, she doesn't seem to pay to know you. You're not going to give me a hint about this big thing coming up. But
Oh,
honestly, if you have time this week, I'm telling you this I like the old fashioned, I'm not that old, but I like that old fashioned call in. See,
yeah. Well,
down
let's
at the bottom.
let's set it up. Let's set it up this week.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to the couple of local TV stations, and I think we know enough people to get some sponsorship, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Today we're going to be talking to Stephen Knight, who he and his family own Mosaic Home Services.
Okay, yes.
They're a very philanthropic family, and they've supported a lot of different charitable organizations in town. But I want you to meet him before you leave, and I'm sure you're going to sing for us too. Hang on. Let's see. I think Stephen's there. Stephen!
Hey, buddy.
Say hi,
Hey,
Edward.
Stephen.
Have you guys met before?
Just once or twice.
Yeah. We have once or twice. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well,
you got someone. You got a guy named Bill in your family and all.
Oh yeah. Nobody knows him.
Oh yeah.
No one knows Bill. Yeah. Definitely, your paths have crossed before, right? Or definitely with Bill, right? So, but do you see? Terrell's always working on a lot of charitable things, in his foundation, right?
Of course.
His heart supports children and seniors, and that's near and dear to me too. But I know the Knight family has supported a whole host of things in our city, right? From autism to you name it.
Yeah, Terrell, it sounds like you've got a great initiative going there, and I look forward to learning more about it when you can let the cat out of the bag. And you're always doing some amazing things. So, pleasure to be on here with you today.
Yeah.
Thanks. And you know what? After this, maybe I could get you to do some music trivia on our show.
Yeah. See. Okay.
I mean, I can try, but
I won't ask you to sing unless you want to. But
no hard pass. Thank you though.
We're not going to be singing.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I got a pick me up song for your before I go. If you want, Sally.
Yeah, I love it. Sing for us. Let's see. How do we?
Let's see. This is kind of I think where we're all feeling, but it's a nice beat to it too. So listen to the song. Listen to the words here.
Okay.
Can you hear that? Me and my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we're good for nothing and there's no way we ever could. Seems like everything's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. It seems like we just don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So we're waiting on the world to change. Yes, we're waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat the system when we're staring at the distance, but we're still waiting on the world to change. One more. Now, if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would have never meant us Christmas. No more ribbons on their door. And when you trust your television, well, what you get is what you got. Because when they own the information wall, they can bend it all they want. That's why we're waiting on the world to change. We're waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we're waiting on the world to change. I'm going to leave you with that one.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's brilliant, Mr. T.
Not everyday occurrence.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you gonna hit me? I keep calling you Mr. T.
No. Everybody calls me that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Mr. Terrell Edwards.
Yeah.
That was quite inspiring and motivating for this wonderful, beautiful Monday.
Well, once again, thanks for having me on, and this is my pleasure. So.
Well, thanks for being here to inspire us.
And it inspires me too. Like I said, because I mean, things aren't always wake up in the morning. Things aren't always okay. Let's get going. You know, sometimes it's like holy smokes. But you know, just to encourage each other, I think encourages us. You know,
every day.
Yeah.
1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. We will get through this.
Yeah.
No, it is for some people I know out there. Some are still frightened, and probably rightly so, depending on the category you're in or age bracket. We haven't conquered it yet. It's still around. So social distancing when we're out and about is a good thing, right? In case the caution didn't hurt anyone.
That's right. Right.
I mean, remember from the past, some guys got a cold or a fever from the past before COVID-19. You kind of stay away from your buddy. Go, okay, listen, okay?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, there's nothing wrong with a little caution, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But remember, we're going to be talking to Stephen here shortly about everything to do with, you know, adding value to your home and renovating, and they're into everything. You know, when I took a look at the website, I go, oh, okay. So I know you're busy, T. You know, I love it when you stop by all the time. But if you want some info, right, about what they're into, or you probably already know, like I can't keep up with these people.
Well, Steve, or you know what, Stephen, if you don't mind, I'm gonna stick around backstage and listen in. And
you will. Oh,
maybe we can talk later.
Fantastic! That's great. That if you're still there and I can see, you're gonna make you sing again. I love that song, by the way.
All right, good. All right.
Whoa. Well, are you making an album? Are you doing an album?
We are working on the next one right now. We're working on the next one.
I try to trick him, right, Steve?
Yeah, good job, Sal. You're trying.
Not giving it up.
Nope.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. T, and we will chat with you shortly.
Okay,
and
all right.
Everyone out there, welcome Stephen Knight. I am so thrilled that you're here today. I really, really am.
Yeah.
And, look here. Let me see if I can get this working, buddy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Look at that.
Jeez, that is the first time your name on the banner. That I like the look of that.
I like CNN, right? A ticker tape.
Yeah.
Did I spell Mosaic right? It's an interesting word.
It is an interesting word. Everybody, you know, I and A, flipping it all the time.
Yeah. So, you know, Stephen, yeah, of course, I'm privileged to have met your parents and know them and know how wonderful they are. And I know that you started this company in 2018, right? I think your dad is a partner in the background, maybe, or they're still very involved. But you are very lucky to have Grace and Bill Knight as mentors and parents, right? I think earlier I was saying, you know, it's not easy to work with non-related people. So why should it be easy to work with family? And family is actually number one. But you know what, it's amazing, you know, the number of different companies that you're involved in and all the services that you and your, you know, are delivering to local Edmontonians. So I'm going to let you tell me all about that. And, you know, my one of my biggest questions today really is in your industry and in this whole industry. I really, you know, love, you know, like the key thing for your company is about integrity. Okay. Because after being in real estate here for 40 years, there isn't a year that goes by where, you know, someone doesn't share a terrible, nightmarish kind of contracting story. And I think it's time that a lot of responsibility goes back. I think the general public, you know, we're very trusting. So integrity is key for me, but I'm going to let you tell us all about what you're doing. So
yeah, sure. And Sally, thank you so much for having me on today. You know, rest assured, the privilege is all mine, all ours to know you. I mean, you're you know, the top of the mountain when it comes to your industry, and it's a pleasure just to be on here today with you. And for you and for the viewers, I'll give you a quick little background and some history on who the heck I am. I'm my name's Stephen Knight. I'm a very fortunate individual. I started my professional career pulling nails out of boards for Nickel and Nail, a company called B&B Demolition, and my dad started that company in 1999 out of the basement of our home, and he built it to be an industry powerhouse. I was very, very lucky to be able to be part of that growth all through being a teenager, being a kid, going to university, and going to U of A and did a business degree. And I came out of that and started Mosaic Home Services. And we started with a passion that really ties nicely into what you're talking there, Sally, about integrity. Is that we started Mosaic as an umbrella. And underneath our umbrella, we've got 8 different subsidiaries, which are all businesses in their own right. They're all independently managed, independently ran businesses that Mosaic and our group has an ownership stake in. And those businesses provide everything from your traditional trade services like roofing and fencing and painting to your more non-traditional movements like your carpet cleaning and your window washing and your screen window rebuilding. So there's a little bit of everything under our umbrella, and we are not by any stretch of the imagination aiming to be one stop for everybody, because frankly, we're not for everybody. And I want to talk about that a little bit here today. But long story short, we got into this business because the home improvement market is one that's really investing in Canada. It's one that is full of really passionate people. They're experts in their industry. They know what they're doing. They build a fence that no one can compete with. They will build a roof that no one can compete with. But sometimes they struggle in growing a business past themselves. And that's where Mosaic comes in. We work with these entrepreneurs who are running these businesses every day to set and achieve goals in the business. And that means, where do we want to be in a year? Where do we want to be in 3 years? Where do we want to be in 5 years? To have those conversations about working on your business, not just it. So we are, you're right, Sally, we founded Mosaic in 2018. We've been working in this business since 2015. And in that time, we've amalgamated 8 brands under our corporate umbrella, providing lots of different types of products and services. And today, I want to talk a little bit about 5 misconceptions about the home improvement market in general. And I'm really interested to have a bit of a dialogue back and forth with you to see what your experience has been when it comes to working with contractors, because you're dealing with people in one of the most stressful times of their lives. They're trying to sell a home, they're trying to buy a home. Moving is right up there in terms of stress. And the last thing anybody needs is to deal with a contractor that's challenging, to say the least. So just to kind of get that conversation started, what are some common things that you see, Sally, in terms of home improvement before somebody gets their home ready to list? Is there kind of a common checklist of things that you recommend to folks?
Well, absolutely. And then so it's really about deciding, what is going to be the major hurdle in selling. And then we're talking about pre-owned homes, okay? So depending on the age of the home, and roofing is a big one. So if the roof needs to be replaced, right, the shingles or the cedar shakes, it can become a major issue. Now, getting estimates to know what that is, that's number one. And you can price your home accordingly. But in the end, we find that even though you price it accordingly because you're faced with a $30,000 roof, well, that may not matter to the buyer until it's about negotiating, right? So, and the other thing I like to caution the buyers too, we're buying a pre-owned home. So if the seller went ahead and replaced the roof, that's a big bonus. Mm-hmm. But if they haven't, a lot of people whose shingles or roof need, it's to the end of its life, a lot of them have the roof assessed, and a roofing company may say it has 3 to 5 years left. So then they prefer to try to just leave it like that. But it does come up because 99% of the people buying existing homes have them inspected. Okay. And a big one that comes up is roofing, windows. Those are big for people, big investments, right? I mean, painting, cosmetic work, we recommend, cleaning up the place, and painting is a small investment, right, for big rewards compared to, roof and windows and things like this. Because once you've done it, you've done it. It does enhance the home and will help you definitely sell it. So sometimes we just recommend we get some estimates, get reputable contractors in so that we can explain that. And for a buyer, I mean, you're buying a 30-year-old house, and to demand that the seller who's selling it for less than he should anyway, pay for an entire $30,000 roof or 25 or 15, depending on the type of shingles or if it's cedar shakes, right? Sometimes then we try to mitigate and negotiate that, right? Because I think it's a little sometimes maybe unfair to expect the whole cost of the roof, right? That a seller gives you a 30-year roof. I mean, bonus if they do.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
big ones are roofs, and of course, as I said before, windows. We recommend, we'll explore painting, but then again, too, that I mean, you may choose the wrong color. People tend to when they're painting now. Remember, they're painting to sell. They're still sometimes maybe choose their own colors. Well, that may not be suitable for the next person. But I do recommend, especially when so we have a really good idea what the cost of renovations are. Because it wasn't that long ago, Stephen, we could do a renovation plus mortgage, right? They still do them, they're still available because a lot of young families don't have the extra money, say to, throw $50,000 right up front at a house, right? So even if you're buying it for less, you still are faced with, major capital expenditures.
Yeah.
But definitely the first thing we do is, I do recommend a pre-inspection listing. Okay, it's a nominal amount of money that a reputable firm. We've had Michelle from Pillar to Post here, comes in, and so then what you're dealing with. A lot of it's not visible too, right? Foundation issues and stuff.
And that's really important. You want to know what you're dealing with when you list your home. And I love that you started with the roof, Sally, because there's some really interesting stories around roofing. I mean, everybody's either seen their neighbor or had their own roof replaced, and it can be a challenge. So our team at Iron Shield Roofing, it really makes the roofing process simpler. The roofing is one of those things where you can go plain Jane or you can go Cadillac, and there are so many variations in between. You can get a 10-year roof, a 30-year roof, a forever roof. But the challenge is contractors don't really like to explain that to you. What they like to do is put a quote together and say, here's your good, better, best. Here you go. Good luck. And we take a little bit of a different approach to that. Really, it's all about understanding the motivation of your client. Are you motivated because this is now your family home and you want to live here forever? Let's put a forever roof system on. Or are you motivated because you need to move this home and you want to get 10-year lifespan out of it? Well, then that's a different conversation to have. One of the interesting things that we've learned in the world of roofing, we do quite a bit of research on our industries, and there was a study published in 2016 out of the States that talked about the value of a roof being done before you sell a home versus after, or being used as a negotiation tool in the sale of a home. And over the course of 5 years, these researchers did this study on all these homes that were sold that needed roofs, and they found that the individuals who decided to replace the roof prior to listing, they kind of took that power away in the negotiation. And what they found is the people who didn't do it actually paid, let's say, for example, if the roof would have cost them $10,000 to fix, it actually cost them closer to $12,000, $13,000 in the sale, because the folks that were buying the home said, well, yeah, it's going to cost me $10,000, but my time is worth the extra 2 or 3. My time looking for the contractor, my time of living through the guy on their roof with a hammer putting the shingles on, that's worth something. So we always recommend to folks that if you are going to be listing your home, yes, it's a big investment, and it's an investment in a home that you're not going to live in. But you're going to save at least 25% in the negotiation if you do it now.
Because the roof is new. There's nothing to argue.
And perception is reality. I mean, you mentioned painting quite a bit as well. Our team at Color and View Painting, we work with a lot of folks who are in the middle of selling their home. We've got we take pride in our ability to be a little bit different than the folks in our industry. We've got a certified interior designer on staff. We'll come out and actually do a color consultation with you and talk to you about these are the most popular colors this year. Let's get them in the home. Even if you hate them, let's put them on some walls and let's make sure that this stuff sells. As compared to some other contractors out there won't take the time to say, you know what, maybe you shouldn't paint that orange or red or whatever it might be. So we really take the time to understand the motivation of our clients. And some are selling and some are in it for their forever home, or some just some changes. And that's what you should be looking for in your contractor in general. You should be looking for someone who's trying to understand.
The most annoying thing that I run into is they've just repainted and to make it all fresh, and it's the same color that's out of stock.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, that's a total waste of money. Because
Exactly.
if you're going to paint, and I've always recommended, in 40 years I've been here, I think you need to revisit it every 5 years. Okay, now some people say, oh, that's too odd, but it's not true because it's part of maintenance, right? So, fresh coat of paint and painting everything, and not just the walls. So, did you, like, you've got 8 companies, so you're involved in windows, right? Fencing, roofing.
There's quite a few. So roofing and painting we've talked about with our teams at Iron Shield Roofing and Color Envy Painting, and this is actually a nice kind of segue because we're talking about painting inside, but outside is also a maintenance piece. If you've got a wood fence, you've got 2 options. You need to stain it, or you need to go something a little bit different that you never need to stain, like a vinyl fence.
Sure.
Home maintenance doesn't stop when you walk out the door. Your yard and those different types of things outside your home are very important as well. So,
how long did the vinyl fencing last? It looks so stunning.
Yes, yeah. Our team at Everlast Vinyl Fencing supplies and installs premium vinyl fence with an average lifespan in the Canadian winter, 15, 20 years. Never need to paint it, never need to stain it. If it gets dirty, you wash it down.
Just power wash.
Yeah, that's right. It's your totally maintenance-free option. And vinyl's been an interesting play, especially in Alberta, because we have such crazy variations in temperature. We're plus 40 and minus 40. And how do you expect any product to maintain that? And that's why we supply and install premium vinyl that has a little bit of room to wiggle and expand and contract. Vinyl's been an incredible uptick in multifamily and in single family contexts where you never want to worry about your yard. You never want to have to paint, stain, take care of something. And what's been really interesting with vinyl is that they're starting to come up with some wood grain style finishes. So I truly believe in the next few years you're going to see some fences that are vinyl that actually look like wood. But the real caution in the fencing market, and especially even though in the roofing market, is that it is a simple market to enter for your average oil patch person that's out of work, or really anybody to just pick up and say, you know what, I'm a fencing contractor today, or I'm a roofing contractor today. It's one of those easy to enter markets. And we really caution people to do your homework on your contractor and make sure that they're taking the time to understand who you are, what you need. And they're not just there with a quote that says, here's your quote and pay me up front and I'll get to you someday. Because, too many times, I'm sure you've heard plenty of stories about folks that prepay the contractors.
Well, that brings me back to, that original thought and question about bona fide contractors in the industry. Okay, so I think that it's really, really important, and I'm not exactly sure why every year people get involved with contractors that just don't fulfill their obligations. They have no clue what they're doing. So let's talk about fencing for a second, okay? Because when it comes to fencing, as it relates to, even if you own it and not leaving the house, but if you're selling, right? So many times we find in the real property report that's required to sell people's homes, okay? Not everyone's accepting title insurance, right? Especially, I've always said to people, it's insurance. If you know that there's an issue with the fence, it may not be covered, right? So it's a pre-existing condition. So, I can't tell you how many times I see the fence in the wrong place. And it is annoying. So hiring someone like you, I'm assuming you guys ask for the survey, you locate pins, you're concerned where you put the fence, whether it's on the property line or just inside. My recommendation is always just inside the property line, okay?
Yeah.
So, so it's back to quality contractors. You're right, anybody can build a fence. Mm-hmm. A lot of people build their own fences and they ignore a lot of that. But that can cause some major, major issues, okay? So, what things would you recommend? I mean, I agree when selling homes and you go in and the roof is new and the fence is fixed and the house is painted and these things are very important because it depends on your target demographic, right? Because a lot of couples, if they're buying their second home, as I said, finding $50,000 to put in the house is tough. But if it's already done and it looks beautiful, right, then the value is there, it appraises, they put the down payment and away they go, and they don't have to worry about capital expenditures such as that. So is that, do you agree with this train of thought? Like spend the money?
Yeah, absolutely. There's smart investments and there's leisure investments, and anytime you're making an investment in your home, it's a smart one because it's the asset that's always going to appreciate, even in these uncertain times that we're in. The thing that I recommend to everybody is that no matter who you choose as a contractor, you don't have to choose me. You don't have to choose Joe that is your neighbor. Whoever you choose, make sure that A, you're honest with them, and B, they're reputable. And by reputable, I mean they have WCB coverage, so that if one of their workers is injured at your home, they're covered. Make sure that they have a City of Edmonton or City of St. Albert or wherever you are. Make sure they're licensed. And the other thing is, especially with some of those bigger capital improvements where it's a fence or it's a roof, it is common for contractors to be asking for prepayments or deposits or those types of things. And make sure that your contractor has a prepaid contractor's license. Not very many people know about that program. A prepaid contractor's license is something that's issued by the government of Alberta, or BC, or wherever you are. And it is a special certification that is hard for contractors to get. Your average, chucking a truck or standing in a van, they don't have that certification because it's very difficult. It's intended to weed out folks that are going to take that deposit and run. So all of our brands here have prepaid contractors licenses, and that allows us to give some level of certainty to our client where if they are ordering something that's completely custom or requires special fabrication or special modifications, that if they do pay a deposit, that it's guaranteed, it's bonded, it's there. A lot of people don't take the time to really homework their contractors, no matter what scope. And fencing is one that is a high risk industry.
So that's backed by which legislation then? Is there a legislation, or you're talking or the province?
That is provincial. There's provincial legislation around prepaid contractors, and that's predominantly because the provincial government mandates and dictates our Builders Lien Act. Our Builders Lien Act is intended to protect contractors from people who don't pay them. So it's definitely a two-way street at times, but you want to make sure that you do your homework on your contractors for sure. Before you do anything with any contractor, make sure that they understand why you're hiring them. Be honest, be upfront with them, and make sure that they have the necessary certifications that you feel comfortable that you're going to proceed. And that doesn't matter if it's inside or outside.
So it's pretty easy for a contractor to produce those documents, right? And if you say, well, can I see a copy of your license? Is that what people? So what should I be asking for? So I want you to do my roof. I want you to do my fencing. I want you to power wash the house, replace windows, do it all.
Absolutely. When you're asking for an estimate, it's as simple as saying, I want to quote on my roof and include your WCB clearance letter. Okay. And that's something that we include with every estimate. It's just, here it is. But we rarely ever get asked for it, even before we started to include that letter, because people just didn't know. Ask for a clearance letter. It's a simple thing. I could pull one up in less than 30 seconds, and that's because we have we have it available to us. A lot of contractors don't. So it's important that it's a quick little check. It takes 10 minutes, and if somebody isn't willing to produce it for you, it means that they probably don't have it.
So is there a government website that we can go to type in the name of a contractor, Stephen?
Yeah, I can provide that to you, Sally. You can throw it up on the website. Yeah, you can pull a clearance letter. Anybody, anywhere can pull a clearance letter.
Because I think I mentioned this to you in an earlier conversation. I think that, we all have an obligation. It's the year 2020 that, our grandparents or our parents or ourselves shouldn't be at the mercy of unsavory contractors. And I think that was a question I wanted to ask you. So when someone's asking you to pay for it all up front or half of it up front, and they don't have any of these kind of documents, what do you do?
Well, I'm not here to tell people what to do. I'm here to provide the education necessary. If they don't have those documents, I would be personally concerned. I myself probably wouldn't let them work in my home. But to be honest with you, Sally, it comes down to what you want. We are not for everyone. And I'm pretty shameless about that in every customer that I talk to. Because some customers will call me and they will say, I want the cheapest price, and that's all that matters to me. And to be honest with you, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people, that's their motivation, and that it just is what it is. For us as a business and us as a culture, it's important that we recognize that sometimes we're not for that person. And it just comes down to what is your motivation for getting this project done? And if you feel comfortable and you feel safe, go for it. If you don't, then don't. I don't recommend, and I wouldn't let anybody in my home without WCB at a bare minimum. I probably wouldn't give anybody a deposit on anything that isn't custom or needing to be ordered. But that's just the way in which I operate, and that's the way in which our business operates. I would say it really comes down to you, how much you trust the person, how much homework you've done. Just try not to be another statistic. And you don't want to be listed as one more person that had a horrible contract.
Bad experience, trust me. I don't like to advance. I've never have been around a long time, right? Because you do the job and it's a job properly and you get paid, right? So, but a lot of people I still cannot believe, and this is the time of year, right? People are still coming, dinging doorbells and all kinds of stuff. So there's lots of stuff still going on. And there's all, in this COVID-19 environment, I'm sure there's a ton of scams going on too. So
there are, and it's a challenge to operate a business in the midst of COVID-19, especially when you're performing work at people's homes or businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen some amazing things in the home improvement industry to adapt to COVID-19. Whether it's the simple things like asking a questionnaire before we book a service appointment, to wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing when we show up, sanitizing when we leave. I find it. I find the human spirit really interesting to observe in times like these, because everybody's stressed to the absolute max. But at the end of the day, we're adapting. We're humans. We're making it work. And it's been interesting to see everybody in our industry find different ways to adapt. Our team at Screensavers Plus is a business that supplies and installs screen doors, screen windows, awnings. And, to be honest with you, Sally, it's been an interesting change because a lot of people are at home. They want to get some fresh air in the home. This is the time of year where it's not quite hot enough to turn the AC on, but it's not quite, cold enough that you just want to have that door open. You want to get some fresh air. You want to let the winter out. And, that a screen door or a remeshed screen window or something like that can really help. So it's been really exciting to watch that business start to develop a bit of a season, because it's highly encouraging to see not only the local community kind of rally around a local business like ours, but also adapt to the way in which we have to perform service now.
Are you doing the screens for garages? Because I'm just loving those. I've seen them over the past few years in Edmonton on some of the high-end homes, and some of them are remote control. But I'll tell you, I think that's a great place for guys to hang out. And maybe once the COVID rules have changed a bit, you can maybe be in the garage. But the screen is about mosquitoes and critters and things too, right?
That's right. And we can do just about anything when it comes to a mesh style, whether it's, there's a lot of folks right now that are making investments in hot tubs or things to do in the backyard, and they want some privacy. So we can do privacy screens on the exterior of the home where you can't see through them. Or, for the garage door specifically, if you want to have the coolest man cave on the block, then put a screen door where the garage is, and roll up the door and get some fresh air in. And
so why don't we just recap all the things that you guys are specializing in with respect to a home, and of course a commercial division. You also are doing work in the commercial area. But let's talk about the home. First we can do roofing, right? And does that include eaves and eaves troughs and things like this?
Absolutely, yeah. One of the most common things is, folks, they'll get a roof quote and they'll say, well, I need these troughs too. And some roofing contractors won't tell you that, oh, hey, my quote includes, and my quote doesn't include, so make sure.
It doesn't include it, right? We have a situation like that currently. And so then what about windows? Are we replacing windows?
So we unfortunately do not replace windows and doors. We are screen window and screen door only.
Screen windows, screens, okay.
With our team at Screen Savers Plus there. We've talked a little bit already about Color Envy painting for interior and exterior painting needs. We've talked about that. We've talked about Everlast vinyl fencing, which is vinyl wood fencing for replacements or new build. It is common on the newer homes that your house sometimes doesn't include a backyard fence. So yeah, it's
no, but it should. I'm all about including everything. Okay,
yeah, that's right.
Brand new, and we're talking all these new subdivisions, right?
Yep.
Because I remember not that long ago when there were things that couldn't be sold. Okay, so for me it was all inclusive, and there was a project up in the north side. It was a townhome project. This is an interesting story. Well, we're targeting a young couple, 5% down, no extra money to fence it, put in some grass, build a deck. Come on, no window coverings, no nothing. So I went to the bank and I go, okay, I want to include this, and this. And actually, that's years ago. And I want to throw in a car. One stop. The whole idea of the marketing plan, and we did get them sold, was for as little as, I remember this, $1,400 per month. Just bring your clothes. Everything was done.
Yeah.
Turnkey. See, because of the American influence in my life, my mom's an American. And so they're all about everything being turnkey, landscaping, fencing, the whole thing. I'm really big about the whole thing, right? Because, and all I've ever heard here for 40 years, sorry, we don't do the landscaping. We don't do the fencing. We don't like to do that because it's all seasonal. Okay. But I really honestly think there's a cost to it, and the cost is built in. No different than an appliance package, right? So, by the way, my argument with the bank about the car, because it's movable, remember? They go, oh, I don't think we can include that in there because it's movable. I said, well, I don't know. Last time I looked, the fridge is movable, washer dryer is movable. There's lots of stuff in the house that's movable. So the furnace could be movable. So in the end, they said yes. So provided the client's qualified, the total purchase price, the value is there. So I'm actually still, and John Cliff comes on once a week and talks to us about mortgages and things like this. And I think right now, more so than ever, people do want to move and they do want to make changes. I'm hearing from the builders because they've adjusted the price of their homes, right? That, they're seeing sales. So fantastic. Yay. But I also know I've worked with young families, and I've got a couple right now, and they, they have a child and they need the fencing, they need a deck, and our season's limited. So I'm really of the mind that it should all be included because it adds value.
Absolutely.
So therefore, they can put their 5% or 10% down. It's appraised, and away we go. And then there should be a reasonable expectation as to when it's done. Our season's short, I get it, right? But it shouldn't be a year or two from now. So it comes back, I agree, with having the right contractors, right? So are you doing a lot of work then with new home builders at the moment?
You know what? We're a little bit. So the home building market is a tricky one. We are not a home builder. We provide service to home builders, and it's a tricky market for everyone right now in the middle of COVID-19. Edmonton is blessed to have some really incredible and amazing home builders that win awards every year at the national level. But it's also a market where, like I said, we need to clients need to decide what types of contractors that they're going to work at. If they're a residential homeowner, then not every contractor is for them, and very much the same in the commercial market. There are some home builders that are absolutely incredible, and there's some home builders that our values just don't align. It just comes down to who you want to work with, who you want to build a relationship with, and really what you want out of the project. I love the story about fence being included in the car. I don't know how you got the car in there, but
hey.
and really it comes down to you understood the needs of your client, and that's what we do here.
We have to be creative, and I think we're currently in a market that I think is fantastic. People are becoming. You have to be creative, okay? Especially now, everybody's you're thinking about your dollars, and they're also planning for the future. So, but home ownership is a commitment long term, and for young families that are looking at new, you're going to have to eventually comply with architectural controls and guidelines. You're going to need to put the fence up. And it's a fallacy a misconception about fences and sharing the costs with your neighbor. You know that, right?
Yeah, it comes down to how good a relationship you have with your neighbor and how good you want it to be after you're done talking about the fence.
It is. And do you know why, right?
Yeah, it's something that we deal with on a daily basis. Absolutely. And it comes down to really just open communication.
Yeah. People are horrified to find out that their neighbor does not have to contribute 50% towards the fence.
Yeah.
And the best time to have that discussion is before you build the fence.
Yes, or before you take down. Yeah, that's we've had that a couple of times where Joe on the weekend decided to take the fence down, didn't talk to the neighbor, and said, "Oh, hey, we're putting a new in. Where's your check?" And unfortunately, not everybody's in the same boat there. So,
and if you're in a brand new subdivision, and the house next door to you is not built yet, and you put up a fence, you can't really expect to ring the doorbell when the new homeowners next door come along and ask them for half. It doesn't work that way. So it's really just a good neighbor fence. That's all you're relying on, right?
That's right. Now, Sally, I know we're starting to come up to our time here. I wanted to talk a bit about some other maintenance things on the inside of the home a little bit. Our team at the Cleaning Command is a business that has a great story. Founded by Canadian Forces veterans and their families, and a business that does residential and commercial carpet cleaning, janitorial service, maid service, waxing, and now is spring cleaning time. And it's tricky because we're in the middle of COVID. A lot of people are going stir crazy in their home, and maybe you can't make it out to the grocery store to pick up the cleaners or the different material that you need to give your home a good spring clean. So when COVID-19 kind of came around, our team at the Cleaning Command got our heads together and we said, well, how can we help people even if it's not going into their home? And we started to look at some of the systems and the processes that we've built over the years. And we said, well, why can't we provide a commercial grade sanitizer or a commercial grade cleaning product to homeowners that can't leave their home or don't want to leave their home to go to Costco and pick up the cleaning supplies or whatever it might be. So we started to actually retail our cleaning product that we use in schools and medical facilities and those different types of things, and started to retail that to homeowners. So it kind of became the Uber of cleaning supplies.
Wow.
So, yeah, our team can provide anybody in the greater Edmonton area with packages of cleaning supplies to sanitize their home, to get going on the spring cleaning. We can deliver service inside of homes. Of course, we're taking precautions through COVID-19, but we can come steam clean the carpets and those types of things. But a lot of folks just want to use some of their time right now to love their home and to give back to their home, and cleaning is a big part of that. So
is this all on your website? We should probably put your website up. So your website address is
www.thecleaningcommand.ca. Sorry, cleaningcommand.ca. Cleaningcommand.ca. Our team there can provide lots of different cleaning packages and different sanitizers and different cleaning products there. All of our packages are listed on Facebook as well. Nice and simple to share with your friends. So if you need cleaning supplies, we're your one-stop shop source, and gets delivered right to your door.
Is that correct?
Cleaningcommand.ca. That is right. Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. And let's see. And where, if people need to get a hold get in touch with you.
Yeah, just give us a call or shoot us an email. Phone number's right on there. One of our inside sales team will get you all set up with a delivery and walk you through all the different packages. We've got different things for glass or for bathrooms or kitchens, or our sanitizer is the most common and the most popular right now. Sanitizer is used for all your touch points, where your light switches, door handles, mailboxes, those different types of things that people are touching all the time. You want to make sure that you sanitize them on a regular basis right now, because the world's a little scary.
Cool. What's the number, please, if you don't mind, from Mosaic Home Services?
Yeah, 780-910-6688 is where
6638, correct?
6688, yeah.
088, sorry. There. Wow.
There, and one of our inside sales team can help you. We've got, like I said, 8 different brands. We've covered almost every one of them. The last one, I got 2 more to quickly mention here. We've seen some really incredible things and some support for our frontline healthcare workers through this COVID-19 crisis. Our team at 5-Star Holiday Decor is a business that supplies and installs Christmas lighting and holiday lighting to residential and commercial properties. And we've seen this crazy influx of folks that want lights on their commercial sites or lights on their homes that are blue and green for Alberta Health Services. So we put together some packages if you want to light up a tree in front of your house or a home, blue and green in support of AHS, and just make your neighbors feel a little bit
now.
Yeah, right now. We've got some really cool photos up on our Facebook page of some homes that we just did in a new subdivision. They're beautiful, they're bright, and just, give something for the neighbors to look at, because right now the world's a little bit of a bland place. So make it a little bit bright with some color.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see if I can add your website here. This is too cool.
You know what? I would throw just getmosaic.ca is our website there. Sally, all of our different brands are there. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, so you just go
underneath our brands.
Our brands, yeah. All the different companies that are the Mosaic Home Services are there with lots of different information and links back to the website.
RNV, screensavers. Oh, there's the 5-Star Holiday Decor. There's Cleaning Command, Everlast Vinyl Fencing, Iron Shield Roofing, and Shine About Windows and Gutter Cleaning. Well, I know for sure I need windows and gutter cleaning, but do you power wash houses too?
We will, yeah. Power wash the siding. Even if you want the patio blocks done, or if you've got a pad in the back and the driveway you need done, we'll do that as well.
The whole kit and caboodle.
That's right.
Okay, so hang on, before I click off this, I just want there's the team. I want to show people the team. So yes, there's that handsome Mr. Bill Knight and your gorgeous mom, Grace Knight. And there you are, Stephen. And there's Arthur.
Yeah, so our partnership team there is dedicated to providing a high quality contractor experience. Like I said, we're not for everyone, but we are for folks that want to have an honest, straightforward contractor deal with them. And a little added bonus, if you collect air miles, we can, once this whole COVID thing is gone, you need a vacation and you need to unwind a bit. Well, I hope that we can contribute to your next holiday.
I was going to mention that, because Century 21, our office, we're the only ones offering blue air miles. And I see that right there. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's right.
That's air miles. But I also, if you don't mind, here's some of the wonderful charities you guys have supported over the years, right? I see Sorrentino's Compassion House, Changing Lives, Grit, Autism, and the Youth Emergency Shelter. Oh, yes, they call themselves. The Women's Society, the Valley Zoo Development Society, the Steadward Center, Kids with Cancer, Valor, and Pilgrim's Hospice. And I'm sure there are many others that are not showing on here at the moment, but this is a really interesting and wonderful website, Stephen.
Yeah, well, thank you. And so to touch on that community piece, I mean, we do give back a pretty substantial amount each year to local charities, because they do amazing work. And at the end of the day, the Edmonton community is kind of given us the ability to be successful in business, and it's important that we pay that back at every opportunity. So, our clients can rest assured that a percentage of the purchase goes to a local charity at one point or another, and whether that's helping medical or homelessness, or whatever it is, we're committed to making Edmonton and our world a little bit of a better place.
Fantastic. And your brand promise, make it right. We are Mosaic. I love it. And but then I love your family, and like I say, it's a company founded and built on integrity. So there's so many more questions. My gosh, I don't know where time goes,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. It's gone
You're
like
gonna have
that.
to stop by and visit us again. And to reiterate, I will post in the comments section too the location of your website, and people can feel free to hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, hi, Stephen. Look at this. Look, look, look. Ha! He likes you. See, he
Oh, hey,
comment.
Stephen,
Yeah.
you're spelling it the right way.
Yeah. Oh, did I spell your name wrong?
Oh, no, you spelled my name right, but he's got the P.
Oh, yeah, Steve. Yeah, Stephen Cates. Good man. And so website is www.mosaic, right?
Get Mosaic, so GET Mosaic.
Oh, get
CA.
SAIC.ca, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. So I just added that to the comments. Oh, wow. Look at that. And from there, though, this website seems to take people to all of your companies.
That's right.
Well, this is really fantastic. So how far in advance do I have to book to get all this work done out here? Seriously?
It does get busy around the springtime, especially when people think about home maintenance. So if you're thinking about something, then make sure you get your call in early. We try and we aim for a 7-day turnaround with all of our services here. That can be tricky, just depends on time of year and complexity of project. But don't be afraid to call. We're information resources first and sales second, and that's the way that we operate. So even if you just have questions, call our office. We're here to help you through any project. We're not here to sell you something you don't need.
That's wonderful and amazing. And it went so quickly. I still have 50 other questions, so I guess I'll have to email them to Stephen. And I'm sure you can actually email Stephen too. They're easy to find. And Stephen, I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with us. And
thanks for having me.
The takeaway from this is, number one, right? Your home is the biggest investment you make. Okay. Protecting it and taking care of it is very important, okay? And doing things like checking out the roof, gutters, windows, fencing, looking after your property is always tremendous value added. And if you're thinking of selling your home, these are some of the areas that you really need to take a close look at as well. So, but do call Mosaic. I know I'm going to, because I need a few things done. I actually was going to wait for the city to clean my streets first before I get you to do my windows and stuff. Is that a good idea? But I should pre-book.
Yeah.
Eventually they will come.
Yeah, definitely pre-book. But we've got some with our window washing processes. We use a hydrophobic coating that repels water, repels dirt. So make sure that you can do it before. We recommend you do it after. But with Shine Above Window Needs Trough Cleaning, you get a clean that lasts longer. You last a full season. Whether you do it before or after, just make sure you get booked in.
Okay. Well, please book me in. Okay?
No problem.
You heard it here. I said that. So please, if you were watching today, like and share this particular webinar with Stephen Knight from Mosaic Home Services. Stephen, this was amazing. And
so much.
Number one, just check out your contractor. Ask for a WCB confirmation. Okay, ask if they are licensed contractor with the City of Edmonton. And remember about money. Anyone demanding money up front, then we need to see if they're bonded and insured. And Stephen, you gave us lots to think about here too. So by all means, it's the biggest investment you make. So be very careful out there who you hire. And so with that, thank you again, Stephen. And please say hello to your parents. I look forward to being on a patio. I did say that I'm going to be driving by to look at your mom's landscaping. It's always so pretty, even though we can't.
She does one heck of a job.
Share an average. We'll talk to you soon. God bless you, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much.
Schedule me in and text me, okay?
Will do.
All right. That was Stephen Knight from Mosaic Homes. joining us today. That was so informative. There's still so many other questions. And I want to thank you all for being here today. And later in this week, please come back where we're going to be featuring many other local business leaders and their business. We're going to get to know them. And as I said, that the Knight family, they have been entrepreneurs and amazing community citizens in our community since the 90s. So it's thrilling to have local people sharing with us, and we're getting to know them. And there are many, many families, right, that run their own companies. They start small, they end up huge. And those who have been here a long, long time, obviously the companies are rooted in integrity. So remember, surround yourself with people you trust and with people with integrity. It will help us get through the crisis that we're going through at the moment. So 1 hour at a time, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, 1 p.m. as we go live. Have a wonderful Monday. And remember, Monday, it's Motivation Monday, so this will help us get through the week. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us.